Hello friends, welcome to EduSathi. This lecture is on written ability test or known as WAT. This is the stage of the interview round. So in case you have cleared or in case you are planning to go for top B schools in India, this will be a test for you. So this is also known as WAT. So all the top B schools of the country of India will be having this. So let's see what this topic is all about. So what is WAT? If you see closely, this is just like a GD, wherein instead of discussing a topic with everyone, entire group, you need to discuss this with yourself and write your thoughts. You're not speaking something, but you are just writing your thoughts. So, for people who used to have a phobia in speaking in public, this is a boon for them. There could be a variety of topics in this. They could be from current affairs, like presently, Narendra Modi government has launched a lot of schemes like Digital India campaign, Startup India, Clean India. So they could give you from these affairs, or maybe terrorism, ISIS. They could be a socially debatable issue. These are evergreen topics like do engineers make better managers, or do women make better managers? If you are having a GD on this topic, it would be a very fierce GD because everyone has so much to speak. But what's important in WAT is how balanced points you can, how many balanced points can you give in your essay. Then it could be a philosophy, like during high tide the fish eats ant, and while during a low tide the ants eat fish. This is also called an abstract topic, wherein how you interpret the issue would be more important. Or there could be absolute abstract topics, like you could be given a color, it could be red, blue, green, yellow, or another topic could be color of your dream or bleed blue. So you need to write a lot of things, what does this symbolizes for you. So these are symbols, what do these things stand for you would be important in this such kind of topic. So after this topic you are given a time limit. With this, in this time limit you need to think and write. This usually varies from 10 to 30 minutes depending upon the college. So it could be 10 or 30. So in case it is 10 minutes, you hardly have any time to think separately. You just need to start right at this right from the word go. So how the process happens, you will be given an empty page. It could be a ruled or a plain one depending on the college, and you need to write only within the space provided. You cannot ask for a separate sheet. Few colleges allow you to use both sides of the paper, few only one. Most of the time the topic that you need to write upon is already printed on the sheet that is given to you. So what could be the ideal composition, how to write? So these are the guidelines. So first we have discussed the guidelines, now let's see how to write. Usually the introduction should take 15% of your time and 15% of the space on your paper. The conclusion should take another 15% or 15% of the time and space. Most of the time, like this will be one sixth, this will be around two-third. So majority of your time should be given to discussion or analysis. Analysis discussion could be explanatory. You could discuss some positive points, some negative points. But remember, this is what the examiner would be most focusing upon. Introduction could be your personal interpretation of the topic, that what do you understand by this topic and what do you wish to explain in the coming paragraphs. Conclusion would be, according to you, according all the discussion and points that you mentioned, what is the best course or the ideal course that would be necessary. So what is expected out of you? It is that you express your subject knowledge clearly and concisely. Use very short sentences, 8 to 15 words long. This really helps you to convey your idea very clearly. Now, this is very important, your grammar and spellings. You have prepared in your CAT or other exams. You have prepared a lot of English, a lot of vocabulary, a lot of grammar. So make sure you do not err on this front. This is very closely monitored. Because in case you commit a grammar error, the meaning that you want to convey vis-a-vis the meaning that the examiner gets could be hugely different and could be the point of rejection for you. Then write to the point. See, you are given very limited time, so there's no point in beating around the bush. This is not your board exams or university exam wherein you need to write long answers. Write exactly to the point. Give wherever whatever facts or examples that you can think of at that point of time relevant to the topic. They are more interested in your opinion. Anyone can know facts, but what meaning you can convey from the facts is more important. It is what they want to check. But remember, only give balanced ones. Do not get into extreme opinion of any kind. So I can give you a rough idea. Then, in case you are given around 10 minutes, your ideal word limit should be 250 words. In case you are given 20 or 30 minutes, you should not exceed more than 500 words. It's quite lengthy. So, in case 1,000 or 1,500 students are called for interview stage at a particular college, they cannot read. They cannot read so many passages. So, make sure you are concise, you are writing to the point, and you are following some certain word limit. So, a word of advice after this lecture, do practice 15-20 topics. At the end of this lecture, I have given a list of around 30-35 topics. Choose 15-20 of them. You can go to Google and search upon that. Search those topics, get your information, and then evaluate. So, once you have written them, make sure you get them evaluated by your respective mentors, your teachers, so that you can rectify your mistakes. That is more important, because when you will be only writing what you deem correct, but what information the interviewer gathers or the examiner gathers would be more important. So make sure you do get them checked. Now, having said all these things, what could be the guidelines, how you want to write, how you should write, let's move on to how you can think. The difficult part in this thing is that a lot of things come to your mind. On a particular topic, you can go on, but how to think and write them in order is what is checked in WAT. So, the first very common technique is SWOT. SWOT stands for strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. Now, SWOT is not done for any person. It is generally done for an organization, could be a political party, could be a country like investment opportunity in India or ISIS. So it is always done for such things. So in case we want to do a SWOT analysis of India, you can see strength is its youth, weakness, the corruption in the country, or the infrastructure still needs to be improved. What is the opportunity? Opportunity and threats, these are in the environment. What can hamper you? Strength and weakness are inherent to you. So opportunity is that we have a very dynamic prime minister and the world is noticing India. What is a threat? Well, terrorism, communal rights, these are few threats which may hamper the image of India in front of the world. Let's see another technique. Let me remove this thing. Next technique is called ICE filter. This is an acronym which stands for international, social, political, historical, economical, or economic, legal, technological, environmental, and religious. So if case you are given a topic wherein you are asked what are the implications of some issue. It could be caste based reservations in India, dowry, terrorism, or pollution. It is at this point that you need to organize your thoughts. Can you think of an international perspective upon something? Let's say, in case we talk about caste based reservations, so internationally, we cannot think upon a topic, a point, because this is mainly prevalent only in India. Can you think of a social perspective? Yes, uh, a, a lot of people from backward classes, they need to be integrated with the India's growth. So uh, so they require reservation. So social we can justify. Politically, well, this was a very good initiative, but have turned into vote bank politics. Historically, this was given to Indian citizens in its constitution in 1950 for 10 years, but has been constantly uh, it has constantly been renewed by Indian Parliament. So this still exists. What can you say about economical terms? Yes, there's a wide difference between India's upper class and poor class. So this may help for the poor class to come into the mainstream of the country. What are the legal implications? Can you think upon legal implications? Technologically, there are no implications for this. Environmental, maybe no. Religious, yes. Not all religions have caste-based reservation, but few have them. So can you? So this thing gives you a perspective to think. On what points can you think? For example, in case you want to take another thing, terrorism. So internationally, yes, all global leaders are worried about it. Social, you can say that few societies support terrorism. Politically, historically, economically, that yes, the a lot of money is right over here. A lot of money is deviated, is used to counteract the acts of terrorists, which this same money could have been used for upliftment of poor, for developmental purposes, but in used to neutralize terrorists. Legal, in case we talk about India, then the it takes a lot of time for this terrorists to get to their punishment. So the legal system needs to be uh, enhanced, need to be there should be a speedy justice for this. Technological, so I can call about cyber terrorism. This is a new thing that is coming up. Environmental or religious, right? So these words will give you some thinking perspective. So now let me look at one another thing. This is another acronym, pop beans. It stands for person, object, place, behavior, event, action, nature, society. That upon seeing a particular topic, can you think about these things? This is generally used for abstract topics like color black. The topic that is given to you for writing is, or for maybe in GD is black. How do you think? So to streamline or to brainstorm regarding this topic, you are given topic. So can you think of a person black? Well, they are called African Americans. Barack Obama is the first African American president of USA. Can you think of an object? Well, BlackBerry, a fruit as well as a mobile. So declining of BlackBerry, which was once a very popular phone. I can also think of black box, which is used in planes. So Malaysian Airlines, when the planes got lost, so they were searching for black box. Can you think of a place? Well, I can think of Black Sea. I can also think of a black hole. Black hole is a thing that that has such gravitational power that it does not even allow light to escape. So I can talk about science in this thing. Can you think of a behavior? Black is generally related to evil or bad behavior. So I can relate to this. Can I think of an event which is related to black? I can think of Black Friday. Through this, I can always stock market crashes can be talked about this. Can you think of an action? Well, black eye is an idiom. It means someone has been beaten, black and blue. So I can always say fight. So I can relate black to some fight. Can you think of nature? Can you think of black soil? It is very useful for cotton, and through cotton I can always say that a lot of farmers in Punjab were recently protesting because their entire cotton crop was devastated by a bug. So they were protesting against Punjab government. I can also remember black gold. Black gold is crude oil. So crude oil has been in a decline for last few months and has been a important issue also. So through this, I can always take the discussion towards falling crude prices. Can you think of black in society? So black in society is again evil. It's a sadness. No, in India, any auspicious occasion is not associated with word black. So it's not for any good thing. Right. So again, though it seemed tough, but when you focus your energies towards different topics from different this line of thought, you would be able to get a lot of things. So make sure you practice such abstract topics on these acronyms. So let's see another one. This is called root cause analysis or fishbone analysis. This is mainly used in wherein you are given a case study. So let me give you an example. I'll give you a case study. Let's say in a company, there's a woman named A. This woman, she's the only working member in her home. She takes frequent leaves and is quite insincere in her work. She's not able to deliver quality in her work. Her husband is also idle and does not support her and asked her to continue her job. She does all the kitchen work, takes care of her kids, and also works in the office. So, if you would have been the boss of such a lady, what action will you take? So, you can pause the video and think upon this situation, or you can rewind and again listen to this case study and see what will you do. So, with fishbone analysis, we are given a lot of causes. This is cause 1, cause 2, cause 3, effect. So, what is the main cause? We'll write main cause over here, due to which certain effect is happening. So, here the effect is the decreasing quality of the work. What are different causes? She's overburdened, she has to take care of home, kids, job. So, why? Because her husband is not sharing up the responsibilities. So, what do you do? Would you fire her? Well, this is a far fetched solution. Why? Because every person goes through some personal problems in her life at some point or other. So, in case you keep on firing on the employees just because they are facing some personal problems, you would see that no one is willing to work for you. So, before firing, I will give her one more chance and find what is the cause of all her troubles and try to fix it. I'll go and check that whether the performance of this lady in question was good at some point of time. If yes, then I'll see that maybe this husband, when her husband was laid off from his job, maybe that is when all her problems started because she's overburdened. So in case her husband starts taking care of some responsibilities, she would be able to do everything well. So I'll try to get job for her husband. So if her husband is getting employed and she has less stress to carry on and then her work quality improves, it means I have solved the problem. If still it persists, then I have to let that lady go and would ask to sort out her problems and then again apply for the job. So this is how you do a root cause analysis, that all the problems, the main cause could be the unemployment of her husband. So I hope you have understood these techniques. These are quite simple. Just practice few essays or few paragraphs based on these things, and you will be able to do pretty well in WAT. So there are few important topics which I have jotted down. You can pause this video over here. You can note down these topics, or you can take a screenshot and make sure you write few topics on this. You write few essays and get them checked. Getting them checked is very, very important. So these are the topics based on some current affairs: falling crude oil prices, make in India or digital India or startup India. Gold was falling. Now budget is coming. So for IIMS, this becomes very important in case your interview is in February. So in case it is in March, then your views upon budget 2016. ISIS, views on India's foreign policy, India of my dreams. So these are some topics. Other topics: how social are social networks. A lot of things to write about advertising, an abstract topic. Disbelief is easy, to scoff is easier, but faith is hard. You can also be asked about India's medical system, India's tourism potential. So these are the things which are very, very commonly asked in case you are going for a specific kind of an interview. In case you are going for IRMA, the India's agriculture sector is should be your priority and should be read about. Then again an abstract topic. If a hammer is all you have, comma, every problem looks like a nail. What do you think about this? Another abstract topic: a child can be forgiven if he is afraid of the dark, but the real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of light. Few more topics: censor board chief Prahlad Nihlani is in news. Indian media has been in news when the word prostitutes was coined. Free basics, Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook. Then GST is in news. The Indian e-commerce industry, a lot of startups need to read about these things. Gold monetization scheme started by Narendra Modi government. So these are the few topics. So you can always go to Pagal Guy also. It's an excellent website to see what other guys who are getting topics. So all colleges have their separate threads. You can always follow that thing. Would give you a look into the kind of topics, the kind of questions, the kind of essays that are being asked in your particular college. So I hope you have enjoyed this session and you will practice a lot. All the best for your WAT and interviews and group discussions. All the stages of this second round. So all the best. Take care, guys.